Over the course of a game's development, unique items are bound to be created, and with Terraria receiving updates for almost 15 years, it's amassed quite a fun list of them. Now, before I get into the items, I want to clarify what exactly I consider a unique item. It's an item that has a function limited to one or two items, or its own upgrade line. Starting off with maybe one of the first items you'll see in a run, the umbrella. Found in surface chests, it's one of 10 items in their pool. Usually, you can only find the effect of slow falling on wings and the featherfall potion. However, the umbrella has this effect when held, which is the only item in this game that has this effect, minus the tragic umbrella, which is its upgrade. It's quite a useful effect to have an unlimited amount of in the early game, as you don't have to worry about fall damage, and can go for no risk Sky Island runs with a gravity potion. Both of the next items come from the Eye of Cthulhu, the first item being binoculars, which has a 2.5% or 3.33% drop chance from the boss depending on what difficulty you're playing on, and it's one of the few items that can change the center of your view, and is the only one that isn't restricted to the ranger class. The binoculars don't have a variety of uses, but it is a really nice item to have while exploring, especially with hunter potions to find NPCs and spelunker potions while mining. The next item is one of my favorite items in vanilla, and one of the reasons why I think expert mode should be the default, the Shield of Cthulhu. After playing modded for a while, I took dashing for granted, seeing as Calamity adds a default dash along with many items that give dashing. But in vanilla, this is only one of two items in the game that allow you to dash, the other being the tabby and its upgrades, and not counting the post-game solar armor. I love dashing in Terraria, and I see it as one of the best movement options in the game. As such, I think that this is one of the best items on this list. Moving over to a unique weapon, we have the Weather Pane. This is a magic weapon that summons a projectile that homes in and attacks your enemies. But unlike magic weapons, this weapon's projectile lasts for almost 10 seconds, and you can only have one active at a time. Combined with being able to use other weapons while the projectile is active, this magic weapon acts more like a temporary summon weapon. Along the same vein of mage and summoner classes overlapping, there's also the cloud magic weapons, the Crimson and Nimbus rods. Compared to the Weather Pane, these weapons have an even longer duration of 5 minutes, but they can't move, acting more as a sentry summon instead of a minion. While the Weather Pane is quite interesting as a magic weapon, being the only one with minion-like properties, it is limited to the mage class, while the Crimson and Nimbus rods are a great addition to any class. Looking over at accessories, coming from the Don't Starve crossover like the Weather Pane, we have the Magiluminescence. Although this accessory does have the unique aspect of producing light while equipped, which only shows up in the jellyfish necklace, the interesting thing is that it can increase your acceleration, and similar to the tabby with dashing, is the only item in base difficulty that does so. The Magiluminescence increases acceleration by 75%, and this same trait is shared with the Soaring Insignia, an expert mode exclusive item that also gives the unique effect of unlimited flight. Both of these accessories respectively are some of the best movement accessories at the time you can obtain them, and especially so in base difficulty. Up next, the accessory Treasure Magnet has a really convenient ability, being able to increase pickup range. This ability is shared by many items, like the Heartreach Potion, Gold Ring, and Celestial Magnet, but the Treasure Magnet covers all items, not just pickups and coins, making this a great accessory while building, as you don't need to worry about picking up blocks far away. Before moving to the final item, I do want to give a few honorable mentions, the first few being many of the expert mode exclusive items. A lot of them like the Spore Sack, Bone Helm, Volatile Gelatin, Mechanical Minecart, and Bone Glove give an extra attack or attack passively. They all do this in unique ways, but effectively have the same effect. so I didn't add them to this list. The next honorable mention is a lot of the items from the Dungeon Defenders crossover. Basically, all of the items have some sort of unique effect or attack attached to them, but seeing as the entire event is unique, it didn't feel right including every item. Finally, one of my favorite items, the light disc. If you've started playing recently, you might be asking why this is here, but before 1.4.4, light discs used to stack to 5, which along with banana rings, were the only items to do so. But this also meant it couldn't get reforged, though it was changed in 1.4.4 to just a singular item. It was always fun getting each light disc and seeing how the attacks ramped up more and more with each one, and finally reaching a complete uptime was pretty satisfying, while banana rings stacked to 10 with a low drop rate from a rare enemy, making it a chore to grind. Now, as the final item, arguably the most fun item in the game, and notoriously difficult to obtain, the Rod of Discord. Allowing you to teleport, this item has great utility, avoiding attacks and boss fights, exploring closed-off areas, and just getting through places much quicker. Other than teleporters, which need to be set up, there's nothing else in this game that allows teleporting to anywhere. There is the Hook of Dissonance, but it acts more as a really fast pull-in speed, because you're still blocked by walls. Not counting the infinite flight of the Soaring Insignia, no item even comes close to the amount of freedom offered by the Rod of Discord. Even though it's a pain in the ass to farm, it's definitely an item worth your time. Thanks for watching until the end. If you think I missed anything, comment down below, and if you want to see more, subscribe. See you next time.